Sorry, we had technical difficulties with our live stream Friday night from Benny Douglas Stadium. We had a video encoder unit that failed to work, so we're doing a delayed full broadcast of the Muleshoe Mules versus Sundown Roughnecks, first game of the 2021 season from Benny Douglas Stadium, David Wood Field. We'll have our voice of the Mules, Elliott Davis, coming up here in just a few moments. But the broadcast of the Mules versus Sundown football brought to you here on Gillam Advertising Channel 6, MuleshoeTV.com by Barrett Potato Farms, Burton Service Center, Muleshoe Housing Authority, Muleshoe Area Medical Center, Muleshoe Independent School District, Mohawk Auto Parts, Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, McDonald's Restaurant, Muleshoe Animal Clinic and Vet Supply, 5 Area Telephone, West Plains Telecommunications, Shipman's Body Shop and Autoplex, WTG Fuels, K&K Pharmacy, Edward Jones, Stephen DeMint, Dell Oil Company, Irrigation Pumps and Power, McCormick Seeds, and Bailey County Farm Bureau and Scott Miller. We'll come back in just a few moments with Elliott Davis along with the national anthem. He'll be giving you the starting lineups as the first quarter begins. At halftime, we'll break as well. We'll have the Mighty M Marching Band in their halftime show under the direction of Miranda DeBruin. All that coming up shortly here on MuleshoeTV.com. Save now while celebrating 100 years of Frying Cogs, 401 South 1st Street in Muleshoe with a great sale. Frying Cogs is the oldest business in Muleshoe. Get now all of their DeWalt tools on sale at 25% off. Corded and cordless power tools including saws, grinders, sanders, yard tools, toolboxes, and much, much more. Also for their 100th anniversary sale at Frying Cogs, get all Stanley hand tools marked down 25% off, including screwdrivers, all Stanley saws, chisels, tape measures, hammers, nail pullers, and Stanley toolboxes and organizers. Wedding gift selections now available for Shay Scott and Britton Bell at the front at Frying Cogs. The manager's special, good through the end of August, is the Crescent Wrench Adjustable 8-inch marked down to $9.97, 10-inch $12.97, and 12-inch $14.97. Special of the month, good through August, is the 17.5-ounce Wasp and Hornet Killer, now only $1.97 a can. Celebrate 100 years of Frying Cogs now by saving 25% off on all the Black & Decker vacuums, including the cordless 20-volt lithium-ion battery-powered Black & Decker Power Series Extreme, along with advanced clean dust busters in several different sizes and suctioning powers. Frying Cogs, 401 South 1st Street in Muleshoe, open now Monday through Saturdays, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., the oldest business in Muleshoe.
Stadium for today's 2021 opening matchup between your Muleshoe Mules and the Sundown Roughnecks. We do want to apologize. We had a live stream problem and we were doing it for a delayed broadcast and had technical issues getting that going, and we'll be kicking off here. I think the Mules, if I remember right, will be kicking off to the Roughnecks. A lot of familiar faces here. Muleshoe going 2-7 last year with wins against Lamesa and Tulia, 0-4 in district. Currently on a 5-game skid. Sundown, on the other hand, went 9-3 last year, lost in the second round of the playoffs. Last time we met, Sundown was at their place last year. Really defensive battle. 6-0 was the final scores. We took that loss for the first loss of last year's season, looking for a different outcome this year. So number 55, Victor Morales, will be kicking off. As we kind of go through, I will be giving you the Muleshoe roster. Looks like Muleshoe is going to do the delay, go back, and then kick it off. And it's going to be a high little pooch kick. Fair catch called. So kind of going through the list here, you got number 0, Brendan Davis. He's a wide receiver linebacker. He's a senior. Number 1, Irvin Torres, wide receiver defensive back junior. Number 2, Judas Reyes, wide receiver defensive back junior. Number 3, Elisar Cincineros, wide receiver defensive back junior. Number 4, Zach Hasley. He's a quarterback defensive back senior. 5, Ed Lopez, running back defensive back junior. 7, Sebastian Curvin, quarterback linebacker sophomore. Number 8, Justin Dick, wide receiver defensive back junior. 10, Zeke Castle, running back defensive back sophomore. Number 11, Christian Fabela, wide receiver linebacker senior. So there's a legal procedure on Muleshoe. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Roughnecks to start off 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Number 10 hands it off, and that's going to be Brendan Davis getting in, finding the correct hole. Going back down will be 2nd and 13. At number 12, you have Zach Radloff, running back linebacker sophomore. At number 13, Jeremiah Barone. He's a wide receiver defensive back, and he's a senior. Number 14, Davian McCullen, wide receiver linebacker, and he's a junior. Looks like they make it 2nd and 10. And apologize for the last shotgun counter. And looks like it's going to be about 3rd down and 4 for the Roughnecks. Good job by the Muleshoe defense being able to read their keys, getting in on the tackle, stopping the Roughnecks from getting the first down. Let's see if Muleshoe can do it again. Number 18 is Nathan Martinez. He's a quarterback defensive back. He's a freshman. 19, Uriel Vasquez, wide receiver defensive back junior. Looks like we got a wing. Same set. Muleshoe showing blitz. It's going to be a pass, and that's going to be caught. Number 14, Corey Torres with the catch. Hunter Tyndall with the pass. Gives it for a Roughneck first down. Going back to our roster, at 21, we have Daniel Sanchez, wide receiver defensive back sophomore. 22, Noah Cantu. Shotgun again. Solo wide receivers on both sides. It's going to be number 7 who takes it. That's going to be A.J. Hernandez for the Roughnecks. Going up about 4 yards on the carry there. Makes it 2nd down and about 7 for the Roughnecks. Number 33, Tate Shipman, wide receiver linebacker junior. Number 40, Jaxir Lopez, running back defensive line sophomore. Number 44, Kazik Herrera, wide receiver defensive line sophomore. 2nd down for the Roughnecks. Muleshoe crowding the box. Handoff to number 7, Hernandez again. Going up the middle. A little ground and pound by the Roughnecks here. Only 1 passing play on this series so far. Number 50, Jacob Reyes, offensive line linebacker senior. 51, Jonathan Salinas, offensive line defensive line sophomore. 52, Ricardo Gonzalez, offensive line defensive line junior. Tyndall sends number 7 up to the left of him. Muleshoe showing blitz, and it's going to be a big hit. It's going to be 78, Nick Reyes. Look at the big man eat. 4th down and a couple to go for the Roughnecks here. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be 4th and about 3. Number 53, Doc Gardner, defensive line senior. 55, Victor Morales, offensive line senior. 64, Ivan Mora, wide receiver defensive back sophomore. Kicking for the Roughnecks is going to be Johnny Acevedo. And that's going to be a nice little kick. Going to hit it about the 20. And oh my goodness, that will go out at about the 5 or 4 yard line. Let's see where the officiating crew will put the Muleshoe Mules. Looks like they're going to mark them at their own 8 yard line. So Muleshoe going to have to go the distance here to get into the end zone, starting off deep into their own territory. 1st and 10 for Muleshoe on this starting series. Back to the roster, number 66 will be Eric Vasquez, offensive line junior. 67, Damian Gonzalez, offensive line senior. 74, Lee Tosh, offensive line sophomore. Number 75, Andre Alfaro, offensive line senior. 78, Nick Reyes, offensive line junior. Here we go. Zach Hasley showing 2 receivers to the right. And that's going to be a handoff up the middle. Good chunk of yardage. Uriel Vasquez on the carry. That's number 19, the junior. Really good blocks up front right there. Uriel Vasquez was able to find the right hole to get into to be able to get the good chunk of yardage there. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Hurry up offense here. Hasley snaps high. Vasquez takes it, goes up, and it looks like he gets about a yard or 2 on that play. Make it 3rd down and roughly 3. Lastly, you had number 81, Ramsey Martinez, wide receiver defensive back sophomore. And that was the Muleshoe roster. Zach Hasley rolling out. Good pass. That's going to be number 0, Brendan Davis, the senior, with the catch for the Muleshoe. 1st down. Your head coach is Jason Richards. Your coaching staff is Chris Mosier, Darryl Davis, Aaron Simmons, Stephen Butler, Jackson Lee, AJ Villanueva, Charles Hertz, Austin Ross, James Hopper, Ross Johnson, Zach Toscano. Your trainers, Stephanie Seymour, Superintendents, Dr. R.L. Richards, and high school principal Cindy Basir. Muleshoe coming out. Set of 3 receivers on to the strong side of the field here. Hasley looking off to the side. 2 seconds on the play clock. Got to get the snap off. Vasquez is going to take it, and he's going to be met by a host of Roughnecks. That's going to be a big loss of yardage, knocking Muleshoe inside the 20, deep into their own territory again. 2nd down and 13 for the Mules. 5:50 left here in the first quarter. Been a run fest. 0-0 is the score. Hasley drops back, pumps. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, and it was snuffed out by number 3. That's going to be Kevin Garcia of the Roughnecks. So 3rd down and 12 for the Muleshoe Mules. Really looking for an answer here to try to keep this drive alive. Need to get at about the 30-yard line. Hasley steps back, has an open receiver on his left. And that pass was intended for number 1, Irvin Torres. If you look down to the bottom of your screen, Judas Reyes was also open there too. He got a little bit of a head start out on the defensive end. Punt crew will come out now for the Mules. Be 4th down and 12. 4:57 left to go. So that's where the clock is stopped at after that incomplete pass. Coy Torres back to receive. It's a really good kick. Coy Torres will take it. And he's going to get upfield. Good chunk of yardage there for Coy Torres as he gets Roughnecks a really, really good position to start here. So 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks right at about the 31-yard line in Muleshoe territory. Tyndall at quarterback. Handoff up the middle. Hernandez, nowhere to go, really. Gets a couple yards after the push from his line. He'll bring up 2nd down and 8 to go. Sundown coming out in the same set, expecting the run here. Oh no, now we got 3 wide receivers set for the Roughnecks. Probably expect a pass right here, and it's going to be a keeper by number 10, Tyndall, the quarterback. He's going to be finally brought down by a host of Mules. Looks like number 40, Jaxier Lopez, was able to get in there. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and inches here for the Roughnecks. Let's see if Muleshoe can get a stop. Muleshoe staying down defense. Now the officiating crew is going to probably bring out the chains to measure this. Oh, no. .320 left here in the first quarter. All knotted up at 0 still. This has been a really big ground battle between the two teams. Roughnecks in red, Muleshoe in white. Roughnecks, 3rd down and inches. Tyndall takes it. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to be met. And they're going to give him the 1st down here. Just had just enough. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. Muleshoe was able to get in there, and looks like he barely made it back to the line of scrimmage, but Tyndall was able to get the ball out. Good athletic move by him. 1st and 10. Little bunch set on the weak side of the field. Tyndall's going to pass. It's going to be a little screen out. Little bubble pass. That's going to be number 4, Robert Solis, with the catch. Good job by the defensive back on Muleshoe's side, able to get in there. I think that was number 2, Judas Reyes. approaching 2 minutes here in the first quarter. 0-0, still knotted up. Second down and 8 for the Roughnecks. Big boys set. Muleshoe crowding the line. Here it is, counter. It's going to be number 7, Hernandez, who takes it. The Roughnecks tend to run this ball way up the middle and doing a pretty okay job with it so far. Just chipping away at 4 or 5 yards at a time, and that can wear out an offensive and defensive line after a while. Really see which team can really handle inside the trenches. And that's going to be a true test whenever you get a team like Sundown that runs it all the time. Muleshoe bunching up the box.
Go get him. All the way. Hey.
And even though there's an interception, it should be offsides on Muleshoe. Clock will stop at 1:12. Offsides of Muleshoe is 3rd down and 4, so that should give the Roughnecks a first down. Would be first and goal. Man, and that one really does sting just a little bit. Now, if you're Muleshoe's defense right here, you got to be wary of the pass. We'll see what the Roughnecks do. Here comes the blitz, and it's going to be broken up. Ball is out. Ball is stolen. Muleshoe's going to pick up the ball and go to the house. I think that's number 74, Lee Tosh. Lee Tosh is going to take it to the house. Big, giant run. I think that's about a 90-yard touchdown. Boy, he showed up, just stole the bread out of the basket and said, that's mine, and took it to the house and the dinner and shared it with his whole family right there. 55 seconds left here in the first quarter. 6-0 is your score in favor of the Muleshoe Mules. Jaxier Lopez for the extra point attempt. Snap's good. Beautiful. All the way through. And kick is up and good. 7-0 is your score. 55 seconds left here in the first quarter. Muleshoe taking it to the house, like I said. Hunter Tyndall came in and said, you know, I'm going to take this. And Lee Tosh just hit him real hard and just stripped the ball straight into his hands. And might as well have been a handoff to Muleshoe. 90-yard to the house. The big boy takes it. The sophomore defensive lineman. Victor Morales, the kickoff for the Mules. I expect a little pooch kick here, and that's about what it's going to be. No fair catch. Ball's on the ground. It has a dangerous situation. Coy Torres bumped into his own man, and nobody knew who had the ball, and next thing you knew, it was on the carpet. Luckily, the Roughnecks were able to get back on it before the Muleshoe Mules were knocking right on the door. That will put the Roughnecks in really bad position, and there's a flag on Muleshoe. So legal procedure on Muleshoe, and we're going to retry the kick again. Maybe Victor Morales can kick it like that again, and we can Get a little bit of a botched catch. Giving Muleshoe a chance to take advantage of it again. Let's see what happens. Morales' kick, really high. Beautiful little pooch kick. And Coy Torres is going to take it, and he might break free. And what a saving tackle. Coy Torres takes advantage of the pooch kick. Noah Cantu on the shoelace saving tackle. 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. 44 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-0 is your score. Got a wing twin set. Let's see if Sundown brings the counter again. Muleshoe showing blitz. Now they back off. It's going to be a counter again, and they're going to go up the middle. Mark Reyna on the carry. Second down and 4 for the Roughnecks. Two wide receivers, one to the left, one to the right of Tyndall. And that's going to be a false start. It's going to be on 22, Mark Reyna. He kind of got a little antsy there right before the play started. If you're an offense, it's not what you want to happen. You really want to stay concentrated throughout the whole process of this whole game. And you've been able to drive it down the field a couple of times, been able to really go and get deep into Muleshoe territory. That's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 is your score.
Gillam Advertising Channel 6 Muleshoe TV coverage of Muleshoe versus Sundown football, brought to you here by Barrett Potato Farms, Burton Service Center, Muleshoe Housing Authority, Muleshoe Area Medical Center, Muleshoe Independent School District, Mohawk Auto Parts, Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, McDonald's Restaurant, Muleshoe Animal Clinic, Muleshoe Vet Supply, 5 area telephone, West Plains Telecommunications, Shipman's Body Shop and Autoplex, WTG Fuels, K&K Pharmacy, Edward Jones and Stephen DeMint, Dell Oil Company, Irrigation Pumps and Power Incorporated, McCormick Seeds, and Bailey County Farm Bureau, Scott Miller.
Tyndall quarterback. Muleshoe backing off from inside the box, passes out through the hands of number 4, Robert Solis. The principal is Jeremiah Griffin, and the superintendent is Brent Evans. The coach is Adam Cummings for the Roughnecks. And that's your Roughnecks roster. Be 3rd down and long for the Roughnecks. Muleshoe looking to get a stop, get the ball back, add a little bit to their lead. And that's going to be fair. Ball is live. Tipped around in the air. It's going to be 4th and long for the Mules through the hand. Number 22 and 1. That's Irvin Torres and Noah Cantu. Bouncing the ball back and forth there. A little bit hot potato. Weren't able to get the interception, but did break up the pass for a 4th down. The Roughnecks will come out in punt formation. And kind of deep in the Muleshoe territory. Wouldn't be surprised to see a fake. Acevedo with the punt. Irvin Torres with the catch. Fair catch. Puts Muleshoe right at about the 16-yard line, and see if Muleshoe can go the yards here and then jump in the vehicle and get it going. See if Muleshoe can produce a really good drive. Really, really hot summer day. Week 1 of high school football. Some really nice storms off in the distance. Closer towards the Texas-New Mexico border. That's what it looks like. But pretty warm today on this middle of summer, or really towards the end of August. Zach Hasley's pass is going to be complete. That's going to be number 2, Judas Reyes. Judas Reyes goes out, plants his foot, comes back, gets the catch. That's going to be a 3-yard game. Be 2nd down and 7 for the Mules. They're going to give him an extra yard. 2nd down and 6. Do apologize. The sun is sticking its happy face out at me. That's going to be a handoff. Really good job on moving the ball. It's Uriel Vasquez. That'll be a 1st down for Muleshoe. Now we kind of got a drive going. Put the keys in the ignition, gas in the tank, and try to get it on the highway. And let's see if we really get it rolling for the Mules. 10:40 left in the 2nd quarter. Vasquez on the carry. Diego Hernandez on the tackle. It's number 73 for the Roughnecks. 2nd down and 6 for the Mules. Clock running, approaching the 10-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter. 7-0 is your score in favor of your Muleshoe Mules. Whoa. High snap. Zach Hasley jumps on it. That's going to be a very, very bad loss there for the Mules. Creates 3rd and very long. About 3rd and 20 is what we are looking at. 9:40 on the clock. 2nd quarter. 7-0 is your score for favor of Muleshoe. Hasley keeps it himself. He's going to run up. Gets the block. Quarterback keeper by Hasley gets almost 15, 16 yards on the play. Makes it 4th and kind of manageable. Watch Brandon Davis down here in the slot position, along with, I think that's Irvin Torres all alone on the top of your screen. And Muleshoe's going to take a timeout. 8:51 left here in the 2nd quarter. 7-0 is your score. Zach Hasley doing a good job that game. And that's going to be a punt by Zach. And that's going to be a Muleshoe bounce, landing at about the 44-yard line, rolling into the 35 of the Roughnecks. 8:40 left in the second quarter. 7-0 is your score. Time to see what the Roughnecks do here, and wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this drive, if they can drive in, if we don't burn 5 minutes off the clock, if not more. Muleshoe's defense really being stout up front, doing a really good job. Passing game has been amazing defensive-wise for the Muleshoe Mules. Muleshoe stacking the box here. They got about 7 in the box, and that's going to be a big hit. Handoff to Coy Torres. Number 7, Sebastian Curvin gets in there for the tackle. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Reyna on the run. Reyna took the handoff there, and I don't know what happened on the offensive line. I think there might have been some miscommunication. Brandon Davis pushed in, showing blitz, then backed off. Then the 2 other defensive backs rolled in along the defensive end, really stuffed the box. And I'm sorry, there were 6 in the box that time. And again, here we go. Now we have 7 in the box. So let's see what they do. And that's going to be a big tackle. Good job by the line of the Muleshoe Mules, doing an amazing job. Be 3rd and 8 for the Roughnecks. On the other side.
The other side?
Yeah.
Thank you.
3rd down and 8 for the Roughnecks. Second quarter, 7:20. 7-0 is your score in favor of Muleshoe. Sun finally going down. Might cool off just a little bit. It's feeling like a furnace. Here comes Muleshoe. It's going to be a quarterback option. Kendall keeps it. Gets a couple yards. It's going to be 4th and 5. So good job by the Muleshoe defense. Muleshoe's doing a really good job reading the keys on the defensive line. Really good communication. You can see the boys communicating down low and able to read their keys correctly and plug the holes that need to get plugged to stop this Roughneck run. Punt is off. The punt is going to be muffed. So Muleshoe muffing the punt gives the ball back to the Roughnecks, and that's not what you want to happen. Be 1st down and 10, and that, I don't know if that takes the momentum out of the Muleshoe defense, and that's really where mental toughness comes in. And that's going to be a false start on the Roughnecks, and that's not the way that you want to start the drive after you've done what you've just done. So now instead of 1st and 10, you're starting out 1st and 15 after going 4 and out, punting it away, getting the muff punt into Muleshoe territory, and now you're in a bad spot. Muleshoe stacking. Pressing, now backing off. Good tackle. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Roughnecks. Brings them back inside the chains. Noah Cantu doing a really good job on that play. Really pursuing the running back. Able to pick up his key and not giving that running back any more room to run. left-hand quarterback. Muleshoe backing off. Handoff to number 7, Hernandez. Host of Meals comes in, and Hernandez is just drilled and taken down. That's a gain of a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 8 for the Roughnecks. 5:30 left in the second quarter. 7-0 is your score. Looks like a couple personnel change for the Roughnecks. 2 backs. This will be the first time that we see this one tonight. Muleshoe coming in. Pass. Incomplete pass. It kind of bounced off of the Roughneck player, not able to keep his hands on it. Garcia was the intended receiver. And I think it was Sebastian Curvin was the one that just drilled him in the back to cause that failed pass attempt. Brings up 4th down and 8. 4:55 left in the second quarter. 7-0 is your score in favor of the Muleshoe Mules. What a big hit. Low snap, and I tell you what, you can't let that happen because Victor Morales is going to be knocking on the door. Boy, Victor Morales read that, and he said, this is my chance. He popped him in the mouth, got him down, and picked him up and invited him to church. 4:50 left in the second quarter. 7-0 is your score. Muleshoe will take over. Muleshoe will start off in their own territory at their own 46. 1st and 10. Two wide receivers up top, one down low. Hasley takes it. Play action. Brendan Davis. 1st down. That was almost fluid. Man, that was beautiful. Hasley takes it. Really good play action. It was bought out. Brendan Davis turns around. Little pick. Catches it. Big boy gets the yardage that he needs for the Muleshoe. Oh, they're going to say it's 2nd and inches. I expect a run here by Uriel Vasquez. Little kid got some legs on him. And there he goes. Uriel Vasquez up the middle. And he bumped some people around. 1st down. Has some change to that dollar that he just got. Be a 10-yard run for Uriel Vasquez almost. Actually, it'll be a 9-yard run. 1st and 10. Mules at the 35 of the Roughnecks. 3:50 left in the second quarter. Clock currently running. 7-0 is your score in favor of Muleshoe. Hasley and company looking off to the sideline. Coach giving them the signal. And they got what they like. Watch Cincinnati's down here at the bottom of your screen. The bunch set up top's really good, but watch that bunch screen there. That was number 10, Zeke Casley. Flag on the play, holding on Muleshoe, and that's not what you want to do. Lack of concentration. Takes you back 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20. Should be a repeat of the down. So if you're Muleshoe, do you try to go deep here? You got number 2, Judas Reyes, at the top of your screen. You got Brendan Davis in the slot. And then you got LSR Cincinnati's down at the bottom of your screen. And Irvin Torres is up there in that bunch at the top. What a fake. Brendan Davis wide open. And looks like a roughneck tripped Brennan Davis, and there will not be a call. Brennan Davis got wide open, and that was a really good design of play right there, and I cannot believe that did not get called. 3:15 left in the second quarter, 7-0, second down and 20. And if you're the Mules, do you kind of look at that again? Maybe get one of your guys out here. Safety is pushed up. And if you look on the weak side, I mean, you got number 2's pressed off of Cincineros. So Vasquez is going to take it. So Irvin Torres comes around in the motion. Defense catches his attention because he is a dangerous player. Zach Hasley dumps it off on the screen pass to Vasquez, and Vasquez takes it and comes up with something to make this series manageable. 3rd and 8 for the Mules from 1st and 20. Question is this 4-down territory? If you get 4th down and couple here, if you're Muleshoe, you go for it. Hasley back, passes it, caught, good, flag. Irvin Torres. Irvin Torres with the catch, and that would have made it 4th and manageable, and now it's going to be 3rd and long. It's going to be a chop block on the Mules. And your 3rd and manageable is now 3rd and really long. Third and a mile for the Mules. Let's see what they do. 2 wide receivers up top, 2 down low. Hasley drops back, has time, passes it deep. That's caught by Irvin Torres. Irvin Torres goes. 1st down, Mules. Irvin Torres, what a catch by the kid. Zach Hasley tosses it, and that was honestly a fight between Irvin Torres and number 4. It's going to be Robert Solis of the Roughnecks. They fought over that ball, and Irvin Torres came away with it. Good job. 1st and 10. Good job, Mule offense, on keeping the drive alive. Brandon Davis in at the tight end, left side. You got 3 of your fastest receivers out there right now, too. Here comes the blitz, and that was not picked up. Number 7, Hernandez gets the sack for the Roughnecks, completely blows by Uriel Vasquez on the play action. And in all honesty, if Hasley got away from that, he had a couple open receivers downfield. Brings up 2nd down and about 20 for the Mules. 1:20 left in the second quarter. Let's see if Muleshoe can add some insurance to the 1 touchdown that they have so far in the game. That's going to be a pass to number 3, who is open, and he drops it. It's Elsar Cincineros. That pass was just shy. Elsar Cincineros had to come back for that one. Jason Martinez was able to get the hand on it to really just break up the pass. Brings 3rd down and extra long. Muleshoe's going to take a timeout. That'll be their 2nd timeout of the game. 7-0 is your score. 1:10 left here in the second quarter. 3rd and 20 for the Mules. So Muleshoe's going to come out, and that's exactly what they did. Brendan Davis out in the slot. Number 1, Irvin Torres to the right of him. Number 3, Elsar Cincineros. Down low on your screen. Hasley takes it, drops back, in trouble, needs to get rid of it, throws it away. Smart move by Hasley. 1:07 left in the second quarter. 7-0 is your score.
Has to throw it away. Looks like it's going to be 4th and 20 for the Mules.
So 4th and 20 for the Muleshoe Mules. It's that side, that side, that side. Hasley drops back, puts it up in the air enough for Irvin Torres, and that is out, and there's a flag. And it kind of looks like Irvin Torres got tangled up with another player. Let's see if this is going to be offense or defense. Pass interference. Pass interference on the Roughnecks, and that's not what you want to do if you're the Roughnecks, and that puts Muleshoe knocking on the door right at about a minute left here in the second quarter. 7-0 is your score. First and goal for the Mules. You have Irvin Torres and looks like Cincinnatios down low. Judas Reyes is at the top of your right. And Brennan Davis is at the tight end position. Muleshoe with a fresh set of downs. Let's see what they could do here. It is, they got a minute to do something with it. Passes high. Vasquez is going to take it, and he's going to be met immediately. That's a loss of a couple of yards. Personnel change coming in. Hernandez on the tackle. That's number 73 of the Roughnecks. Brings up second down and goal. Second goal for the Mules. Looks like a little bit confusion between Hasley and the coach on the play call. So Muleshoe's going to take another timeout. 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. 7-0 is your score. Be second and goal at the 13, and Muleshoe's kind of struggled right in this area. Top of your screen is going to be number 1, Irvin Torres, and number 2, Judas Reyes. You really got the height with Brennan Davis on the bottom of your screen there in the slot position. Blitz coming. Hasley over the middle, almost intercepted. Intended receivers, number 1, Irvin Torres. And Hasley almost threaded the needle. I'll stop the clock at 27 seconds. 7-0 is your score in favor of the Muleshoe Mules. Hasley looking, gets it off to number 3, and that's going to be a touchdown. What a move by Cincinnatios. Hasley to Cincinnatios connects with 22 seconds left here in the second quarter. 13-0 is your score. Oh boy, Cincinnatios caught the ball, and then he broke some ankles. Somebody go check on the kid, and went up, got the touchdown. Really, really good move Really good pass by Hasley. Hasley gets back, goes in, passes the ball with really good confidence there. Looked like a bullet coming across the field. Number 40, Jaxier Lopez to kick the extra point. That's up and no good. Just left of the uprights. Kind of a wild drive. Muleshoe, honestly, they kind of started off with just a muffed punt. Muleshoe going in, dropping the punt, giving it back to Sundown, and Sundown giving it right back to Muleshoe, and then Muleshoe takes it, goes all the way down the field. Pass interference helps them, giving them a fresh set of downs right inside the 10, leading to the Hasley connection to Cencerros for the Muleshoe touchdown. Keeps the score 13-0 with the missed extra point. With 22 seconds left in the second quarter, Muleshoe to kick it off. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Roughnecks tried something here to kind of get them at least a little bit close. You got 22 seconds to work with. Roughnecks did start off with the ball, so Muleshoe will get the ball in the second half, and that would be really good for insurance purposes. Robert Solis back for the Roughnecks. Morales kicking off for the Muleshoe Mules, and let's see if we can do it without a... That's a really nice kick. Number 20 is going to pick it up, and he's going to get taken down after gaining about 5 yards. 25, that's Acevedo of the Roughnecks. 18 seconds in the second quarter, that's what we have left. Muleshoe leads the Roughnecks 13-0. 1st and 10 for Sundown. And if I'm Muleshoe, I would be very weary of any trickery that might happen. Tyndall. You got big wide receiver out. You got 2 tight ends set. Muleshoe showing blitz. Now backing off. Muleshoe only sent a couple. Here comes the counter. It's going to be met. Hernandez will take it. And the Roughnecks are just going to let the clock run down. 2-1. And that's the half. 13-0 is your score. Second quarter. We'll be right back for your second half of Muleshoe Mule football. You're listening to Channel 6 Muleshoe, Gillam Advertising.
LM Advertising, Channel 6, MuleshoeTV.com. Coverage of the Muleshoe versus Sundown football game from Benny Douglas Stadium and David Wood Field, brought to you today by Barrett Potato Farms, Burton Service Center, Muleshoe Housing Authority, Muleshoe Area Medical Center, Muleshoe Independent School District, Mohawk Auto Parts, Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, McDonald's Restaurant, Muleshoe Animal Clinic and Vet Supply, 5 area telephone, West Plains Telecommunications, Shipman's Body Shop and Autoplex, WTG Fuels, K&K Pharmacy, Edward Jones and Stephen DeMint, Dell Oil Company, Irrigation Pumps and Power, McCormick Seeds, and Bailey County Farm Bureau and Scott Miller. Coming up in just a few seconds, we'll have the Mighty M Marching Band and their halftime show, followed by the second half of Muleshoe versus Sundown with our voice of the Muleshoe Mules, Elliott Davis. All that coming up shortly here on MuleshoeTV.com. Save now while celebrating 100 years of Frying Cogs, 401 South 1st Street in Muleshoe with a great sale. Frying Cogs is the oldest business in Muleshoe. Get now all of their DeWalt tools on sale at 25% off corded and cordless power tools, including saws, grinders, sanders, yard tools, toolboxes, and much, much more. Also, for their 100th anniversary sale at Frying Cogs, get all Stanley hand tools marked down 25% off, including screwdrivers, all Stanley saws, chisels, tape measures, hammers, nail pullers, and Stanley toolboxes and organizers. Wedding gift selections now available for Shay Scott and Britton Bell at the front at Frying Cogs. The manager's special, good through the end of August, is the Crescent Wrench adjustable 8-inch marked down to $9.97, 10-inch $12.97, and 12-inch $14.97. Special of the month, good through August, is the 17.5-ounce Wasp and Hornet Killer, now only $1.97 a can. Celebrate 100 years of Frying Cogs now by saving 25% off on all the Black & Decker vacuums, including the cordless 20-volt lithium-ion battery-powered Black & Decker Power Series Extreme, along with advanced clean dust busters in several different sizes and suctioning powers. Frying Cogs, 401 South 1st Street in Muleshoe, open now Monday through Saturdays, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., the oldest business in Muleshoe.
Tonight's show is titled Orpheus, with music from Verdi's Requiem Mass and Pavane for a Dead Princess by Rabel. Drum majors are Mark Espinoza, Erisbel Avalos, and Lily Castro. The Mighty and Band is under the direction of Miranda DeBruin and Jessica Meinrich. The color guard is under the direction of Kaylee Young. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Mighty M Band.
Second half of Muleshoe Mule football. Starting off here in the third quarter, Muleshoe will receive the ball. 13-0 is your score in favor of Muleshoe. First touchdown came from Lee Tosh. It was a 90-yard fumble recovery. Turned touchdown. The extra point was good. Big man taking it to the house. Then the second quarter, taking it to 13-0 was Hasley to Cinceneros for a 10-yard touchdown. Really, really good job by the Mules in the first half. Doing good job on defense, bending and not breaking. And the kick's going to be up. It's going to be a short little kick. And it's going to be number 10 who's going to take it. Going sideways at Zeke Castle. Well, Muleshoe will start off at their own 25-yard line. And we see Muleshoe drive the ball a couple of times, doing a really good job. Hasley really dialed in on several passes. Uriel Vasquez also on a couple of really good runs. And here comes Hasley and company. You got trips out in the top of your screen. Right here in that little wing position. You got Brandon Davis. That's going to go out. And I can't quite make out the number of that player. It's going to be Zach Radloff, number 12, who was back there to catch the ball. A little swing pass from Hasley. Makes second down and 4 for Muleshoe. Really good job by the offensive line picking up on the extra person coming in. Hasley looks, gets it out, and that's in and out of the hands of number 1 Irvin Torres. It's a little odd for Irvin Torres. He's usually really good catching. Hasley did throw the ball a little bit low. 11:16 left in the third quarter. 13-0 is your score. Three wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Hasley, handoff. Wow, what a cut. What blocks. Way to stay athletic. That is Castle with the big carry. First down, Mules. Really good blocks up front, and I tell you what, Castle just put his shoulder down, was able to get off of one receiver, put his hand on the ground to get an extra couple yards there at the end too. Very, very fast and athletic. This is my first time seeing Castle out in the field. Brandon Davis in motion, 3 wide receivers set up top, and here's another handoff to Castle, and Castle's going to find the hold. Second down and 6 for the Muleshoe Mules. And then we may see another combo here of power and speed between Vasquez and Castle. Uriel Vasquez in now. And that's going to be a quick out to Brandon Davis. Brandon Davis, big boy with the ball, so you better tackle him. He's forced out of bounds. Brandon Davis, just such a powerhouse player, really tall. You can get it to him, and he just has that really good finesse for a real tall guy. Able to get the extra yardage there for the Mules. Brings up 1st and 10 for Muleshoe. Muleshoe now on a drive. 10:32 is where the clock is stopped here in the third quarter. Uriel Vasquez is going to take it. He puts his shoulder down, and there's laundry on the field. Uriel Vasquez had about a 6 or 7 yard run. Looks like it's going to be holding on Muleshoe. That came from the top of your screen. The right side of the line. Looks like the Roughnecks might have sent somebody in just a little bit late on that top side and kind of messed up the flow of the offensive line, causing the hold. Your Muleshoe, you got to call that out on the line. Very bad mistake. Now you're facing 1st and 20. Handoff. It's going to be number 10 Castle. Slips away from a guy, and it takes a bunch of players. Now the Roughnecks are going to call timeout. Castle, if I remember, 4 carries on this drive so far, and he's basically kind of pushed the car down the road for Muleshoe. Brandon Davis on the really big catch. Really good job by the offensive line, except for just the one little mishap on the holding. 10-20 in the third quarter, 13-0 is your score. And if you got to really wonder if Muleshoe's going to keep punching it, play action might come soon. One of these guys are going to break free, whether if it's, Elsar Cincineros or Irvin Torres or Judas Reyes. A lot of fast kids on this team, especially out in the skill position. Definitely a team to kind of watch out for, especially when they get in a role like this. They're running downhill. They're able to get blocks. They're able to find the hole. The running backs are doing everything that they need to. Second down, 11. Coach is not liking. Pass, and there it is. That's going to be Irvin Torres, and that's going to be pass interference, and that honestly is probably the only way to stop Irvin Torres from getting that ball.
Interference on the defense. It's going to move the Mules up the field a little bit. First down.
10-14 left here in the third quarter. Pass interference on the Roughnecks, and that's not what you want to do if you're a Roughneck. You just gave Muleshoe a first down from third and what would have been third and long. First and 10 for Muleshoe. Hasley, high snap, handoff to Castle, and Castle takes it, goes up the middle, puts his head down. Actually, no, it's Uriel Vasquez. I'm sorry, it's number 19, Uriel Vasquez. I did look for a second. I was like, normally Uriel Vasquez is the one that really just punches it. And left here in the third quarter, 13-0 in favor of your Muleshoe Mules. Muleshoe on the roll, second down and 3. Hasley fakes, takes it, keeps it himself, cuts, makes a guy miss. Look at him go. Gets forced out of bounds. And that's going to be another penalty. Horse collar on the way out. Can we just talk about how looks like Hasley juked the kid. Kid slid in there 10 yards. Looked like he was going to keep sliding. Ice skating ring out there. 9:49 left here in the third quarter. And it's going to be a personal foul on the Roughnecks, and that's going to be really unnecessary roughness. Chunking the quarterback out of bounds on the run. Brings up a Muleshoe first down, first and goal from the 7-yard line. And I think got number 40 in there. Oh my gosh, look at the big boy run. There he goes. That's number 40, Jackson Lopez. He said, feed me, hand me the ball. And we're going to go in and score, and then he's going to turn around and kick the extra point. Snap is good. Kick is up, and that should be good. Lopez doing everything on the last part of that drive. I just remember looking up, and I see number 40 out there in the running back position, and I had to scoot all the way down on my roster and realize who it was. And if you're anyone, you know they're fixing to feed this man, and they hand off the ball to Lopez. Lopez takes it up the middle for the Muleshoe touchdown, turns around, kicks the extra point for Muleshoe to give you the current score 20-0 against the Roughnecks with 9:44 left here in the third quarter. Great job by the Muleshoe offense. Good job by the running backs. Really awesome job finding the holes and just keeping the drives alive. Talking about bury the defense. When you run the ball like that, eventually, you know, the defensive line will begin to wear and tear, and that's just running downhill like that. And if you're on the defense and you can't stop, it just kind of changes your whole demeanor. And once again, I mean, that comes down to mental toughness for a team, whether or not if you're able to really dig yourself out of that mentality and kind of find a way to change your perspective to try to stop the Muleshoe Mules, who were just running all over the field on you. Kick is high, little pooch kick. And looks like Muleshoe's going to be there to get a hold of him. So Juarez will receive the kick, tackled by, I think that was number 19, Vasquez. So here comes the Roughnecks. Now time to decide what the Roughnecks are going to do. And it was kind of real funny thing that, you know, that Muleshoe was running the ball on the Roughnecks like this, because the Roughnecks were the team last year that really drove the ball against Muleshoe, and Muleshoe really couldn't get anything going. Roughnecks with the one touchdown in the game, and I think, if I can't remember when that came, I think it came in the second or third quarter with the Roughnecks, as they were just some of these seniors. It's a very, very veteran team with a lot of juniors and seniors. Roughnecks, big boy package. Muleshoe stacking the box, and it's going to be a keeper by number 2, and it's just going to be an option keep, and that's going to be a no-go. And Jason Martinez running. Damian McCullen on the tackle for loss. Good read by Damian McCullen, and he kind of shuffle, finally read what was right, and then just went and attacked. No hesitation whatsoever. Number 2, Jason Martinez, had nowhere to go there. Different set. Got one extra guy on the line of scrimmage. 2 tight end set, I think, is what is down there. I can't really see. And it's going to be a counter. It's going to be Hernandez who takes it. He's going to get a couple yards. Maybe a little bit more than that. Looks like a gain of about 4 or 5. Brings up third down and manageable for the Roughnecks. Now, if you're the Roughnecks, you haven't really relied on the pass too much. You've relied on your run game, I mean, specifically on the counters. What are you going to do here? We'll see. Third down, and it's going to be a very tight wing set. Martinez at quarterback, Hernandez at running back, and there's movement on the line. Oh, no, delay of game, and that's not good for the Roughnecks. I'll push you back just about right where you were, so third and manageable is now third and very long, puts you outside the sticks. So if you're Muleshoe, you kind of watch for the pass. You kind of you wonder if you're linebackers might hesitate just a little bit, kind of going in for a complete kill tackle if it gives off the tight end some space. Got some tight ends in this set, back directly behind the quarterback, and the linebackers back off. Ball's on the ground, and that's a big loss. So Hernandez on the carry, got nowhere, brings up 4th down, and looks like we have a shaken up mule out there, and what a tough player, gets up, gets right off the field. So 4th and 16 for the Roughnecks, and in all honesty, in this territory, you got to punt it away. Number 1, Irvin Torres, back to receive the punt. Punts have been kind of hit and miss with the Roughnecks, and some have gone in their favor. Let's see if Muleshoe can keep a hold of it. So Irvin Torres decides to keep away from it, avoid any mistakes. Ball will take a roughneck roll down to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mules. 7:12 left in the third quarter. 20-0 is your score.
Please bring it up to the restaurant. Or get rest on the evolve page. Bring that up to the restaurant.
This is really, really warm August football season night. Sun's going down, and it's honestly really nice. A little breeze outside, nice and cool, and be nice for these players who are already warmed up. Kind of let them just go, let loose. Safety coming up on the... you'll see a blitz here by the Roughnecks, and that's going to be number 10 who's going to take it. That's Castle. And even on the blitz, Castle still gets about 5 yards on that play. 2nd down and 5 for the Mules. Castle still on the field. Got Brennan Davis out there, number 1 and number 3. That's Irvin Torres and Cincenieros at the top of your screen. Number 2, Judas Reyes at the bottom of your screen. And you gotta wonder if they're gonna really press like this. If there's a flag on the play, and it's gonna be false start on the Muleshoe Mules. So erase that last run that Castle just had, and that might stick you right back at the marker, and it will. Be 2nd down and 10. Repeat the down. And it looked like it was going to be a handoff. And I wonder if Muleshoe will change this a little bit. Castle to the right of Hasley. Hasley. Fake. Irvin Torres gets met in the backfield on that screen. And the Roughnecks just read that screen just right. Good job by the defensive back of the Roughnecks to keep his eyes on the wide receiver instead of the running back. Really good job on reading that screen for the Roughnecks. Brings a 3rd and long for the Mules. I think that's Brennan Davis down in the slot. Oh, and that is in and out of the hands of Brendan Davis, but coming across the middle is number 1, Irvin Torres, for the which could have been a 1st down. It was a little bit of a misread there. You know, Brendan Davis was down deep, and he had a hand on the ball. 6:19 left here in the third quarter. 20-0 is your score in favor of the Mules. And Irvin Torres was open across the middle, cut across at about the 40, and honestly, if he would have caught his stride, that probably would have been an extra 10 yards. Hasley back, sends number 8 in motion. And that's going to be a really, really, really good punt. That's just going to take a kind of a neutral bounce, hits the turf and rolls to the right. Or towards us, towards the camera. Brings up 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks.
Roughnecks ball, the 38-yard line, 1st and 10.
So Roughnecks have a chance here to kind of cut into this lead. So they got a new series in this third quarter. About the 6-minute mark is where we're sitting at. They are down by 20. And it looks like the ball is out, and that's Muleshoe's ball. That makes 2 turnovers for the game. And I tell you what, Jacob Reyes gets in on it on this time, and that was just a very, very bad snap in and out of the hands of, it's number 2, Jason Martinez of the Roughnecks. And here we go. The Mules get a little bit extra here, a little bit extra help from the Roughnecks. Makes it 1st and 10 in Roughneck territory at the Roughneck 36-yard line. Hasley hands it off, and that's going to be Castle. Goes up and he only gets a yard. Really good read by the middle linebacker there, scooting over. 2nd and 9 for the Mules. Hasley looks, pass, number 2, caught, in, and he stays inbounds. It's a good little comeback pass. That's going to be Cincineros there. I'm sorry, that's number 2, Judas Reyes. Brings up 3rd and 3 for Muleshoe, and you got to wonder if you just hand it off here to Radloff. And it looks like they're going to stack the box on the defensive side. And Radloff's going to take it. That's a 1st down. Gave him. Zach Radloff with the carry. Takes it just across for the 1st down for Muleshoe. And they're going to give it to him. They put it right on that line. And it looks like he made it way enough across. And yes, and they are. They're going to give it to him. 1st down, Muleshoe. Hasley hands it off. It's going to be Zach who keeps it, and he's going to go up the left side. Really, really good blocks. And that's close to 1st down territory. We'll see if they give it to him. Radloff with the carry, and Muleshoe with 3 different running backs that could just do it all. Now you have Castle in there at running back. And you gotta wonder here, I mean, the Roughnecks have their hands on their hips. I would too at this point. This is a defensive lineman. You can only take so much. And I thought Hasley was going to keep that. Castle comes back. Castle with the breakthrough, forced out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Castle went one way, said Skirt went the other way for 1st and goal for the Muleshoe Mules. Hasley in the shotgun. Castle takes it, met by 2 Roughnecks. It's going to be a loss of a couple of yards. Be second down and goal for the Mules. 3:20 left in the third quarter. 20-0 is your score. Clock currently running. Hasley signals a guy. Castle to his left. Goes. Handoff to Castle. Castle cuts it up. Castle's in. Touchdown, Zeke Castle. Feed the man the ball, and he will give you a touchdown. Taking the bread, giving it to the rest of them players. Good job by the Muleshoe offensive line there, coming across, getting the blocks that they need to, and Zeke Castle, just really good running back awareness, sees the hole, was able to get in there, kept his feet really high, and avoided any shoestring tackles, in for the touchdown. And kick is up, and that is so Lopez's kick is blocked, and he goes up and gets the tackle from the Roughneck who tried running away with it. That keeps the score 26-0 in favor of your Mules. Free, and I guarantee you if he ever broke free, he would be gone. That was a good kick, and 55 Morales kicks it, and Roughnecks make a bad decision letting that roll by. Hit about at the where the numbers are at the 10-yard line, and rolls and then takes a Muleshoe bounce going towards out of bounds, and at that point you got to pick it up and go. Didn't know whether or not if it was going to be a touchback or if it was just going to land right in there. And in all honesty, you would have, as a Roughneck, you would should just let it go and see what would have happened. Be 1st and 10 for Muleshoe. So trips out the top of your screen. It's going to be Martinez. And it's going to be handoff to Hernandez. Hernandez getting a good chunk of yardage, about 5-yard run. 2nd and 5 for the Roughnecks. Second and 5 for the Roughnecks, and it's going to be trips again on the top of your screen. Muleshoe stacking the box. Muleshoe showing blitz. And Sundown is going to pass it. It's going to go out to number 4. First down for the Roughnecks. It's going to be Robert Solis. Judas Reyes on the tackle. 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. Solis on the quick catch. Little bubble, just out and go. And he was able to get into really good stride. And before he's brought down by the Mules, brings up 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. And they are stacked in there right now. Muleshoe now backing off. And here comes the counter. Found the hole. Here goes Hernandez. Hernandez is free running down the field. He's going to be forced out of bounds at the Muleshoe 36-yard line. Big run by E.J. Hernandez of the Roughnecks, and that's probably the biggest run that I've seen the Roughnecks have all night. Stops the clock at 1:07 here in the third quarter. 26-0 is your score. 2 wide receiver set, 2 tight end set. And that's going to be a delay of game, and that's going to be another delay of game for the Roughnecks. In the past 2 series that they've had, they've been riddled with false starts and delay of games. And if you're the Roughnecks, that's honestly something you can't do. You're down 26 points with practically only a quarter left of game. And the way that Muleshoe's running the ball, I mean, they can take the next possession and take it almost down the 5 minutes of the fourth quarter if they wanted to. Here we go. It's going to be a pass, and that's going to be the first pass I've seen all night. That's going to go in and out of the hands of number 4, Robert Solis. And honestly, the pass from number 10, Hunter Tyndall, that was a really nice pass. It was just a little bit outside of his reach. Number 2, Judas Reyes, with really good hands getting in there, knocking out the ball. 2nd and 15 now for the Roughnecks. Got a tight set, 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver. And here comes the counter, and it's going to be met immediately by a host of Mules. Right at about the line. Hernandez will get into the secondary, pushing for a couple yards, brings up 3rd and 11 for the Roughnecks. If you're Muleshoe, you really don't want to give up any more yards. You want to try to get down. This is 2-down territory for the Roughnecks. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. 26-0 is your score in favor of the Mules. So we've seen this before. Trips up top. And that's going to be caught. So Hunter Tyndall with the big pass. It's going to be Johnny Acevedo with the catch. And that was a fake screen going out. Will be 1st and goal for the Roughnecks. And in all honesty, I mean, you're probably going to see the counter here, but it's the end of the third quarter. 26-0 is your score. The Roughnecks are knocking on the door. We're going to flip sides, and we're going to see what the Roughnecks do. Just a little bit of an update. The JV Mules defeated the Sundown JV yesterday, 24-20 in Sundown. And
Gillam Advertising Channel 6 Muleshoe TV coverage of Muleshoe versus Sundown football, brought to you here by Barrett Potato Farms, Burton Service Center, Muleshoe Housing Authority, Muleshoe Area Medical Center, Muleshoe Independent School District, Mohawk Auto Parts, Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, McDonald's Restaurant, Muleshoe Animal Clinic, Muleshoe Vet Supply, 5 Area Telephone, West Plains Telecommunications, Shipman's Body Shop and Autoplex, WTG Fuels, K&K Pharmacy, Edward Jones and Stephen DeMint, Dell Oil Company, Irrigation Pumps and Power Incorporated, McCormick Seeds, and Bailey County Farm Bureau, Scott Miller.
From wherever you are. Handoff, number 7, up the middle. That's going to be the first touchdown of the night for the Roughnecks. E.J. Hernandez, 11:57 left in the fourth quarter, 26-6 is your score. So Roughnecks cut into this deficit just a little bit, and honestly, you're going to have to do a lot to really cut into this deficit. Wouldn't be surprised to see them go for 2 right here. Offense back on the field for the Roughnecks. Tyndall take the snap. He's going to go back, and he's in trouble. He's going to have to get out there, and he gets hammered. That is number 55, Victor Morales, with the boom. Heard that from up there. 26-6 is your score. In favor of the Mules with 11:57 left here in the fourth quarter. There's going to be a little pooch kick by the Roughnecks. That's going to take a little Roughnecks bounce, and then number 3 is going to mishandle it. Cincinnatios, and he gets in the way with his other Roughneck player. And brought down. 1st and 10 for the Mules, and they will start off the 24-yard line. Muleshoe doing a really, really good job in the run game so far in this, really the second half. First half was a little kind of hit and miss, and then coming out the second half, you just find your identity in the run, and that's what you've lived by. And Zach Hasley's been able to complete passes, giving him some space and giving the wide receivers some space. Number 8 is in motion for the Mules, and it's going to be another handoff to number 10. Or I'm sorry, that's number 12. Going to be Radloff. So Zach Radloff with the big run, and like I said, he can kind of do the best of both worlds from what Uriel Vasquez and Zeke Castle have. Hasley in the shotgun. Radloff to his right. Brendan Davis in motion. And another handoff to Radloff, and Radloff's going to take it wide, and that might not have been the good move. Tackle for loss of 2 on the play. Brings it 3rd down and about 4 for the Mules. If you're Muleshoe, you really don't want to go 4 and out on this drive. You kind of want to push the clock and keep the momentum on your side and keep that time of possession on your side as the getting late in the game. And if you're on that in the trenches, you're starting to get really tired. And it's going to be a handoff to Castle. Castle coming up, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. And
Number 10, Castle is moving on the left side, gain about a yard.
Castle will gain a yard. And here comes the punt team. .22 left in the fourth quarter. 4th and 4. 26-6 is your score in favor of Muleshoe. And Muleshoe going 4 and out on this drive. Hasley to punt it. And Hasley has a really great leg on him. Let's see if he can pin them deep. And that's probably what he's going to do. Oh, no, it was caught immediately. And a host of Mills was able to get there. That was number 25, Johnny Acevedo. So Acevedo was able to take it, get a couple of yards. If you're Muleshoe's defense, you got to find a way to either slow down the run or really just stay kind of flawless, up on the line and also in penalties. Don't give up any big penalties to the Roughnecks. 26-6 is your score. 10-13 left here in the fourth quarter. Kind of far-fetched, but not out of reach for the Roughnecks. Still have a game on their hands to play. 2 tight ends set for the Roughnecks. 2 wide receivers. Tyndall. Handoff to number 29. It's going to go up the middle, and that's kind of not what you want to happen. That's going to be a big gain of yardage And I will get you a name for 29 as soon as... And that's going to be Isaiah Flores. So Flores will take it, and he goes up the middle, brings up second and 2 on the big run for the Roughnecks. So 2 tight ends again. Same says what we've seen last time. Flores to the right of Tyndall. And I'd wondered if Muleshoe was offsides. They're going to say no. That was just really perfectly timed. So Tyndall takes a snap, and Muleshoe's defense just busts through the line. And I think a lot of people were kind of waiting for the flag there. And I think it was just timed just right. Big loss, 3rd and 7 for the Roughnecks. 8:40 left here in the fourth quarter. Roughnecks running out of time. Trips down low. Handoff. That's going to go up. Brand Davis is going to stand up the guy. That's going to be Flores on the run. Davis on the tackle, along with the help of number 50, Jacob Reyes. So 4th and 4 for the Roughnecks, and run out of daylight here on the game clock. 8 minutes is what we're approaching. So same thing again. 2 tight end set, 2 wide receivers, and if you're Muleshoe, you know you got to watch this run or the fake pass. And that's going to be encroachment on the Mules, and that's exactly not what you wanted. So offsides on the Mules, and it was 4th and 4, which will give a new fresh set of downs for Muleshoe. If you're Muleshoe, that's exactly what you did not want to do. You didn't want to give the Roughnecks another chance. A new set of downs on this drive for the Roughnecks, and you got double wing. Tyndall, handoff, met in the backfield but slipped away. Flores was able to slip away from the Muleshoe Mule. So the sweep play works there for the Roughnecks. It was number 14, Davian McCullen, who got back there, and Flores was able just to shove him off and able to get a couple yards on the play, and that was almost a big loss for the Roughnecks. That play down their favor. 2nd and 8. 6:50 left in the fourth quarter, and you're burning your daylight. Here they come. Counter. Flores at the 30, the 20. Forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So Judas Reyes forcing Flores out of bounds. And the last time that the Roughnecks were down this close, they were able to get it down to about the 1-yard line and then punch it in. That was at the beginning of this fourth quarter. So run by Hernandez as a 1-yard run. Kick was no good on that one, giving us our current score 26-6. 6:39 left here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10, Sundown. Tyndall, handoff to Flores. Up the middle he goes. Gain of a couple. And in all honesty, I mean, that's kind of all you need, but might be just a little too late for the strict run game for the Sundown Roughnecks as you're burning time off of your game clock. We're approaching the 6-minute mark, 2nd down and 6. Spending an average of probably about 15 seconds just trying to get the play off from huddle to lineup to snap. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers down bunched on the bottom of your screen. Hand off to Flores. Flores up the middle. Flores spins. Touchdown, Sundown. 5:47 left in the 4th quarter. 26-12 is your score. And like I said before, you can't give up. You still have a quarter of football left to play. And that's going to be a big run by Flores to give the Roughnecks just a little bit closer to that score. 26-12 is where our current score is right now. And the Roughnecks will go for 2. So here we go. Pro set. Pass. Caught. And Tyndall getting the pass off, and he got hammered afterwards. That's going to be a flag. So 2-point is good. 26-14 is now your score. Two touchdowns is all you really need now for the Roughnecks. 5:47 left in the 4th quarter. 26-14 is your score. Roughing the passer on Muleshoe, and that'll be added on at the kickoff. Castle back deep for the Mules, and if you're the Roughnecks, do you onside it? Do you kick it deep and see if you can stop Muleshoe? Or, you got 5 minutes and 47 seconds left, and it looks like they're going to onside it. So let's get ready to see who gets it. Onside kick is up, and it's going to be number 40 who takes in. He's going to get some really good yardage. Good hands by Jaxter Lopez. So 1 timeout for the Roughnecks, and that's really all they have left right now, 5:47. And if you're Muleshoe, you just need a couple first downs, and you can really put this game away. And it would be really nice to just go in and get another score on your way of just killing the rest of this game clock. 2-1-0, top of your screen wide receiver-wise. That's going to be Reyes, Torres, and Brendan Davis. And then Cincinnati is all by himself. Randolph, what a move by Randolph. Still going, still up, zigzagging around. And I tell you what, great run by the running back, Zach Randolph. 1st and 10 for the Mules. Hasley, Brandon Davis in motion. Radoff to his left. Handoff back to Radoff. Radoff in trouble. Radoff met in the backfield. The Roughnecks were able to get in there, and here comes the switcheroo, and we have Radoff coming out and Castle coming in, and if you're the Roughnecks, you kind of look at the next running back that's coming in. Castle to the left of Hasley. It's a quick pass, and that's going to be Judas Reyes at the top of your screen who got that. Judas going out, cutting back. Nice little boom, boom. Great throw by Hasley. Good timing. Almost seamless. And feed me. Big running back set is in now for the Mules. You got number 40, Jaxer Lopez, the sophomore, in for Muleshoe, and this guy can just chunk it and run, and that's what he's going to do right here. He's just going to put his head down and go and get some good chunk yardage here. Looks like a couple yards, if not more, and they're going to actually only give him a yard. Wow. I think he got a little bit more than that, but 2nd down and 9 for Muleshoe. Muleshoe's killing this clock. 3:30 left in the fourth quarter, 26-14. And like I said, all you need is just a couple first downs, and you can really just drain this clock. Muleshoe's switching running backs again. Castle in to the left of Hasley. Hasley shotgun. Castle to his left. Handoff to Castle. Castle on this coming up on the right, puts his shoulder down, stays inbounds, keeps the clock running. 3 minutes left in this ball game. 26-14 is your score. Brings up 3rd and 9. No gain on the play. Hasley and company looking off to the sideline at the commander-in-chief to see what to do next. 2 wide receivers at the top, 1 down low, tight end set. And I didn't think they were set yet. False start on Muleshoe. And that's going to hurt you if you're Muleshoe. It's going to bring up 3rd and long now. Be 3rd and 14, 2:20 left in the fourth quarter. 26-14 is your score. And we got 10 seconds left on the play clock. Hasley discussing with company, and it's going to be a timeout by coach. So as Muleshoe takes a timeout, just a little reminder, Muleshoe will be heading to La Mesa next week to take on the Golden Tours. And like I've said before, if we remember that game last year, that was a big 42-6 win by Muleshoe, and it was a great display of offense and defense. The defensive side of the ball was a tremendous job that game. In the offensive side, it was just a big running score by the Muleshoe Mules with some really good passes. And that was the game that, a lot of wide receivers had chances to really go up and get a couple passes, as Zach Hasley was going everywhere that game. Same thing with the running backs. You had running backs who were just ground and pound the whole game. Really opened it up, kind of similar to this, gave Zach Hasley a chance to really go in and make a pass, give a couple play actions, really kind of set the defense unbalanced. You don't know it's going to hit you when you got a running back who's running against you, and you got a quarterback who can throw, and you got several wide receivers who can catch it. And at that point, as a defense, you're kind of hands are just a little tied. You can only do so much, and hoping just to get turnovers for a game like that. Third and long. Hasley goes back, passes it deep. Cincinnati is open. Cincinnati with the catch inside the 5-yard line. What a great pass by Hasley. Hasley goes deep in the right side, and he had Cisneros open, and that gives new life for Muleshoe. Cisneros, I think, no, he went out of bounds, so that stops the clock at 1:56. Hasley hands it off to big man number 40. That's going to be Jaxer Lopez for the Muleshoe touchdown. Jaxer Lopez's second touchdown of the night for Muleshoe. Brings the score 32-14 in favor of Muleshoe with 1:51 left in the fourth quarter. And kick is up. Kick is good. Ramsey Martinez with the extra point, and it is good. 33-14 is now your score in favor of the Muleshoe Mules. So all this was possible by great pass from Hasley down to Cisneros down at about the 3-yard line. And honestly, if he would have stayed on his feet, he probably could have been in for the touchdown. And like I said, when your team is running the way that has been tonight in Muleshoe, gives chances for the quarterback to make really, really good throws like that one. Cisneros had a really couple good steps on his wide receiver, and Hasley caught him just about in stride, and good athletic move by the wide receiver Cisneros on going up and getting the ball, giving Muleshoe new life. It was 3rd and long for Muleshoe on that play. Turned into 1st and goal. Turn around with Lopez taking it and just taking the ball, running it down the throat of the defense. Kind of the same thing that he did earlier in the game for his second touchdown. So Muleshoe kicking it off to the Roughnecks. Nice little pooch kick, and that's going to land short. That's going to be Lopez who takes it. Or I'm sorry, Flores who takes it, and he's going to go up about midfield, tackled right at about the 50-yard line, and 1:45 left in the fourth quarter. 33-14 is your score in favor of Muleshoe, and game's not over yet, but we're pretty much wrapping this one up. And you gotta wonder what Muleshoe's defense is going to do here. You know, the Roughnecks really haven't relied on the pass, and if the Roughnecks run, that will kill your chances of honestly trying to get anything done offensively. You'll burn out your clock before you're able to do anything. And that's what they're going to do. Flores on the run, up the right side, 7-yard gain. So another run by Flores, and it might be one of these things where Flores might just continue on running with the ball. $10 quarterback, 2-back set, 2 wide receivers. Oh, this should have been false start, but it looks like they were met in the backfield. Host of Mules getting in there. That's Acevedo with the carry, who got a big tackle for loss. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Roughnecks. Clock running. We're about at the 30-second mark. And once again, you know, Muleshoe versus Sundown is brought to you by Barrett Potato Farms, Burton Service Center, Muleshoe Housing Authority, Muleshoe Area Medical Center, Muleshoe ISD, Mohawk Auto Parts, Bailey County Electric, McDonald's Restaurant, Muleshoe Animal Clinic and Vet Supply, 5 Area Telephone, West Plains Telecom, Shipman's Body Shop and Autoplex, WTG Fuels, K&K Pharmacy, Edward Jones, Dell Oil Company, Irrigation Pumps and Power, McCormick Seed, and Bailey County Farm Bureau, Scott Miller. Your final here is 33-14. Your Muleshoe Mules win the first game of the season, moving them to 1-0. Sundown will move to 0-1. We will see you next time in Lamesa. Once again, I'm Elliott Davis, the voice of the Mules, coming to you under the Friday Night Lights with Gillam Advertising Channel 6 Muleshoe. Till next time, have a good night.